Hare Krishna. So, according to Ayurveda, there are 13 kinds of urges in this body, which are called Vegas. They're urges, right? The urge to eat, the urge to sleep, vomiting, what is known as Malamutra Tyagam. That means giving up, passing stool and urine. These are all urges of the body. Now, they are usually categorized into two, dharaniya and adharaniya, that which should be controlled or regulated and that which should be never suppressed. So we can see this in three ways, that of these 13 urges, there are some of the urges which one should control, and there are urges which one should regulate, and there are urges of one which should never suppress. Of this 13 is, for example, mala mutra tyagam. You should never suppress that urge, because if you do, then you get disease in the body. And for example, the urge for eating and drinking, so that should be regulated, right? So generally there's two, adharaniya and dharaniya. So not some people have a foolish notion that all the urges of the body should be exercised and unlimitedly. That's not like that. Some of it, if you control, it's benefit for the body. Some of it, if you control, it's harmful for the body. So similarly, eating and drinking water are one of the urges that, if we control, can be very beneficial for the body. Fasting in Sanskrit is called upavasam. Upavas. Upavasa means, upa means nearby, vasa means sitting or staying. Upavasa means that which takes you closer, that which takes you closer or nearby to God. So upavasa is that process by which one can come closer towards the Supreme Lord. Now, if you look at it, there's a big difference between a people who do fasting and the people who are starving out of hunger. Both are hungry, but there's a big difference. You may say one is voluntary and one is involuntary. Fine. But in that, there's a different empowerment also. We see that the person who is voluntarily fasting, they generally are very positive spirited, they are bright faced, they're energetic. And the person who's struggling and suffering of starvation, they are just weak and negative. They're always thinking about food. So, what does God want us then? Is God happy to see people dying out of hunger? Is it some sadistic thing why we fast? Is it so that, to please God with our suffering? No. So, we are doing fasting, we are not doing starving. Fasting here is where willingly we put aside our importances, that, and prioritize the spiritual life and prioritize God. So, in that way, we become actually selfless. So, this is why we do fasting, to please the Lord. It is voluntary taking on some so called inconveniences so that we can put Lord as our priority first in day to day life. Every day we eat, every day we drink, every day we are feeding and nourishing and pampering and comforting the body. Once in a while, we take out some time to prioritize God, and that gives us immense benefit. So therefore, externally, to both kinds of people are hungry, the person who's fasting and the person who's starving, externally, but actually the person who's fasting gets million times benefit. So then the question comes, how to do it? Well, there's various levels. The one level of fasting is called nirjala, where you don't take any water, you don't take any food, and then after that, if someone wants to go, a little unable to do it, then one can take sajala, some water at least. There's others, there are even those who take fruits, just only fruits. There's another level, third level. And there's others who take other foods like anukalpa foods, like maybe some potatoes or some non-grain items. Okay, so that's a fourth level. So like this, there's different levels on how to even do fasting. But the main thing is the mindset, the mentality, the mood, that do not think that by getting an acid reflux or stomach gastritis that you're going to please the Lord. It's not that. It's just that, I've been always thinking about myself so much throughout my whole life. Today I just want to put myself aside, and my Lord, I want to focus on you. Okay, I want to put you importance, more time for you. So we eat less because so much time is saved. We can chant more, we can hear more, we can worship more, and the senses become more controlled. Mind doesn't go here and there. We are more focused on today, that one goal of pleasing the Lord. It's his birthday, it's his appearance day, it's his favorite day, like Ekadasi. So the whole focus is on that. So it's actually a very powerful thing. And nowadays, modern day researchers and dietitians and nutritionists, they have understood the importance of fasting. They call it intermittent fastings and this and that. So many different things come up nowadays. But that's all fine, but still it requires some meditation, some focus. So better that focus be on, the Supreme Lord. Some people worry that, oh, what if I suffer? What if I struggle? What if I die? So nobody was going to die out of fasting. In fact, actually, it makes the body very strong. It is recommended a lot for devotees and those spiritual practitioners because it is a way of winning mind over matter. Every time you make a sankalpa, every time you make a vow, you make a determination, and you succeed it, the mind becomes stronger. Your determination becomes stronger. So fasting is a powerful way if you want to make very strong determinations in bhakti. That yes, I want to actually overcome this. Yes, I want to go about it. So if you feel that how can I increase my determination? How can I increase my steadfastness? How can I increase my seriousness? Then one should observe days like Ekadasi and festival days and fast. No one is going to die, don't worry. Right? In fact, we get a lot of nourishment. Now, having said that, there are people who are old and people who are diseased. They have actually some issues, right? So then you can take food, then you can take accordingly, right? I've seen all kinds of people who fast and are very great devotees, people who are fast and maybe not so great devotees. There are people who eat and are very great devotees, and I've seen people who don't eat or who eat also and not very great devotees. So there's all kinds of shades. It does One should not have that kind of thought in mind that if I eat, if I don't eat, why am I going to be better? But the fact is the general advice to devotees is to fast, right? Because this is very helpful. But then special cases are there. If you're sick, if you're old, just not capable, right? But end of the day, the absorption should be on Krishna. Hare Krishna.